Ready.
Yo, what's good? We're popping.
Yo, we're here.
We're rocking. And, dude, I found my yellows. You see that, guys?
We got the yellows back.
I found my yellows, and I found my reds, the ones that I was going to debut.
Are we doing Glasses podcast?
Are we doing Glasses podcast? I mean, that's what people give a shit about.
I know.
So that's what we're going to do. Yeah, we're rocking. We're doing. And we have a guest.
Yes.
We have a guest. We have the Long Island landmine, Joe Ocasio. Thank you for fucking coming.
Thank you guys for having me, man.
Dude.
Awesome.
The wrestler is here. You're our first wrestler.
Yeah.
Am I?
You're our first wrestler.
Dude, I got so much pressure now.
Yeah. No, there's no pressure.
No, I'm kidding, man.
There's no benchmark.
Okay,
you know,
so
we
I'm
have
gonna set the
nothing.
tone.
Yeah, nothing to compare you against.
That's
it's like
great,
fucking
good.
a virgin.
Yeah,
All right,
man.
that's good. Well, there's nothing better. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. There we go. That's fucking great. Thanks,
yeah,
guys.
I'm pumped that you came on, man. This is gonna be cool.
Yeah, it's good for me. I mean, I'm an injured wrestler right now, so this is a great outlet for me to.
You got injured?
Yeah, I tore my ACL.
ACL, fuck, dude.
Yeah, it's wonderful.
Damn, dude.
Yeah.
How did you tear it? Like exactly?
It's fucked. It's fucked. It's the same way I tore my Achilles like years ago, throwing a clothesline.
Really?
Wow.
It's always something simple. It's never something crazy. See, but thank God I was in a battle royal. So yeah, we're in the middle of it, and it was like, I was supposed to be the final two. It was supposed to be a big moment for this new kid who I really like a lot. Because they built me this whole year to be like a monster destroyer, and they've put me in main event, so no one would have expected him to eliminate me, and I was proud to do that, and that's what it was supposed to be.
You bring it a little closer.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
I'm usually so fucking loud. And everyone's like, "Just shut the fuck up." Anyway, so yeah, I was supposed to be final two. They had me on a steamroll. No one would have expected it. It's like not even 3 minutes into the match, and I just threw this clothesline, and all of a sudden my knee gave out, and that happens sometimes. So I do something, and I'm down, and everyone's like, "You're all right," and I'm like, the referee's checking me. I'm like, "I think I'm cool," and I go to get up, and it's like, "Oh no, I'm not cool," but I'm like, "No, I'm gonna finish anyway." And there's this like guy who's been a manager for a long time, Joe Eastman, cool guy. He's like, "Bro, get the fuck out of the ring." He's like, "You're gonna hurt yourself worse." And I'm like, fuck it. So I did what I could. Then I got eliminated, and everything worked out fine because thank God it was a multi-man match. But yeah, I'm assuming it's nothing crazy too. I'm still in my head. I'm like, minor injury. Went to the doctor, not minor. But I'm recovering super well, dude. 6 weeks in, look.
Dude, he's fucking walking.
I'm doing pretty good.
Nice.
And you're a trainer too, so you like know what you're doing.
Yeah.
How to rehabilitate
right here in East
yourself.
Meadow. Yeah.
It's yeah, dude. You did. You sent me the video of it happening. Actually.
Yeah, I did.
I totally fucking forgot about that. Yeah,
It's all right, friend.
You could see. I literally forgot. I'm an idiot. Yeah, I remember you was like, zzz, and you're like, something zipped on him.
Yep. Yeah.
That's so weird that it's a clothesline that does that.
It's just a
I was
plant twist.
expecting something big.
It usually is. I mean, that's Triple H did the same shit when he tore his quad. It was just throwing a clothesline. It's it's just a weird plant and twist. Like I guess because so essentially I threw the clothesline, and next I was supposed to turn and take a super kick.
Yeah.
So I guess as I just pivoted, my foot stayed and
Shit, man.
Well, that's what they say with like football and shit. Like you get tackled because you have the cleats and you're planted.
Exactly.
And then you have like a fucking 250-pound man
Right.
slam into the side of you.
Usually a lot more than that too.
Yeah.
yeah, those guys are fucking huge.
Jesus Christ, man. Would you say like the bigger wrestler you are, the more prone you are to getting injured?
Because I always felt like big guys. Like I played football in high school. I felt like the big guys were always more injured than like the fast, like small guys, like lanky guys,
I would say, I would love to say that, but I think I like Rey Mysterio who's had like 12 knee surgeries.
Yeah.
I
mean, he's fucking
it's style.
high flying.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
I think it's a combination of your style,
Yeah.
how much risk you take. But when you are a bigger, more muscular person, a lot of times you're putting more stress on your tendons and your ligaments. So, and then it's a rough schedule, and you have to understand the thing about pro wrestling that's different than just like true sports is like you're allowing somebody to do things to you. Where normally you're trying to protect yourself, right? And even if you learn how to fall, over time, the wear and tear just happens.
Yeah.
And you're usually trying to work through minor injuries because you don't want to stop because that's how you make money, get exposure. So those little things, and then there's no off season, right? It happens year round.
Yeah, that's fucking rough, dude.
That's
really hard.
Right.
Like, no off season.
No off season.
Like I don't care what you're doing, even if it's like chess. You're like, all right, when the fuck do I get a break?
Yeah,
with this?
you get a little exhausted. Like even comedians, it's like summer is like kind of chill,
Yeah.
Like we kind of have an off season.
Damn.
But yeah, dude, year round, like, and that sucks because like 6 weeks out is like you can't really do anything, so you're not like getting paid, right?
Yeah, so that was the thing that sucked. Is like, you know, thankfully I've done pretty well for myself in pro wrestling now because I've been doing it for over 10 years. I'm still independent though, non-contracted, but I started, you know, really making that my second income, and I kind of count on that. You know, plus the fact I love it, it's a great stress relief I don't have. But the only, I guess, catch to that is I've been able to do more coach. I'm still able to train people, limited to what I can show, but most of my clients know. And I have clients and other trainers that can help me to demonstrate for anybody who's new. Right. So I've been able to pick up some slack there. So that's been, you know, financially I've been okay, thank God.
Yeah.
But I still miss it. I mean, you know, it's like a part of my life that's just on hold. And I'm not getting any younger. So every time you get hurt later on, it's like I feel Father Time just poking me on the shoulder.
How old are you now?
I'm 32.
Okay.
Still young, but I mean, you know, you're not wrestling into your 60s. I don't think I'm going to be wrestling into my 60s or anything like that.
Yeah. I just turned 33, and I get it.
Kind of get it,
like,
right?
because you're like, I'm still young, but it's like, I don't have all the time in the world.
Yeah, like, it's like you kind of feel like you're closer to the end than the beginning, and it sets in a little bit more.
Yeah.
Well, because once you're 40, on paper, you're a middle-aged person.
Right.
You're not young anymore.
Yeah, and for an athlete, you're old.
Oh yeah.
I'm
getting. I was telling you, I'm getting cortisone shots on Thursday for my hips, and I'm fucking amped about it. I'm not trying to compete again, but like, I mean, fuck, I'm trying to just get on the mat and like, you know, live life like an active young guy.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, Christ.
Yeah, that's been kind of like keeping you down, right?
It takes winds out of your sails.
Yeah.
It takes wind out of your sails for sure, and it sucks. I feel you with the injuries.
And like things like that, like your hip and like a torn ACL or even like an Achilles, like they kind of become like nagging injuries, right?
Yeah.
Where it's like you almost like run different, or like you kind of like favor it a little bit, like because subconsciously it's like you don't want that horrible fucking injury to happen again.
Yep.
Like favor the other side, you're saying.
Well, like, you know, like you kind of want to protect your knee a little bit more when you have like fucking ACL damage, because it's like, I think it happens to, you know, like, because, you know, I busted my knee pretty bad in football, and like I was kind of like protecting that knee more, maybe not like juking so hard on it, you know. You know?
So I have
like subconscious
a little, like, so I was doing research on that. So you're cleared to usually compete again, like 8 to 12 months, that range you can go back. But the awareness takes like 2 years. So what you're saying, it usually takes like 2 years to really like forget that ever happened, and you're usually like very conscious of the movements you're making, even when you're 100% cleared. And then in that time frame, a lot of times you see re-ruptures or the other side rupturing
because you're moving differently,
right? Because you're still that little thoughts like you know, it's there, even though like you shouldn't be doing that.
So you're 100%. It's hesitation, right. and like you know, in sports, like that's like the worst thing, you know, is that little hesitant movement.
What did the Achilles feel like?
Ooh, that was. So that one actually hurt. Not even hurt more, but I heard the pop. I didn't hear the pop.
Ooh.
This was okay. So I'm going to give you a little backstory. I'll try to keep it short. This is when I was 24, 25. This is 2016. I started really making strides then too. So that's when Evolve was big. To give you a backstory, it's a company that was a big independent company that at the time was working directly with WWE. So a lot of guys got signed because they worked there, and WWE was basically just using them as a feeder system to get to the next level. So I was busting my ass trying to get in the door, because there's a lot of people that want to get in the door. And it was like a Saturday. I was like a replacement for a replacement to get on that show. And I did really, really well. Like William Regal was there scouting.
Oh shit!
With So he like gave me some pointers. He liked me a lot. Everyone was super happy. And I basically was a shoo-in to continue to work with them. It looked like things were, and it was 3 days later at a practice. I was feeling. I was a trainer for this school, but I was just filling in for this Queens location. I never did. Throwing a clothesline
again.
It was throwing a clothesline.
Fucking
I was
clothesline.
doing a simple drill with like new students, and I hear like a. And I'm like, yo, guys, did the board just come up and hit me? Because there's boards under the mats. I'm like, what just hit me in the back of the leg? And then I kind of got pissed. I'm like, guys, what just fucking hit me in the back of the leg? Did you guys just do something to me?
Yeah.
And then I went to step, and it was like,
wow.
Yeah, and then I had to get out of the ring. I like forced myself to walk the next day.
Yeah.
Just, I think I was stubborn. Like, I'm not hurt.
Right. That's a big thing with fucking like athletes. I'm not hurt.
Yeah.
You know, you want to like almost will it. you know, because like I know when I busted my knee during football, it was like I was gonna be out for fucking 4 weeks, and it's like it's an 8-week season.
Yep.
And like I was like, what the fuck, you know? Like so
Yeah.
I tried. I actually finished a game. Like I took a helmet to the knee. And like I caught a pass, and I was a tight end, and like this fucking tiny little cornerback I was gonna run over, and he just dove at my legs, and like I didn't even feel it really, like adrenaline going. Plus like, you know, we're Levittown scumbags, so we were taking like Stacker 2s. Remember those?
Stacker 2.
Oh my God,
dude,
I
we were taking
remember
Stacker 2s and washing them down with Red Bull. So
That's so like think about how insane that is.
yeah,
That's fucking
dude, so
that's-
insane.
oof. You would, if you were in your 50s, you would die.
Yeah, and
die.
you know, like
Basically a
this,
speed.
Yeah.
dude, it was like ephedrine. You know,
Yeah,
this
yeah.
is before like it
Yeah.
was banned. You know, this was like we're talking 2003. So you know, I fucking ended up finishing the game, and dude, like I had a ridiculous game too. Like I had like I don't know, it was like 10 tackles, 2 sacks, fucking 4 catches, like 85 yards and a touchdown. Like it was like probably one of my best games ever. And then like I'm in the huddle, and I go to my friend and I'm like, yo, does this look like fucked up to you? And he's just like, shut up, pussy, you're good. You know, because like everybody's like, yo,
Right.
you're having like a real good game.
Yeah, like, can't be anything wrong
Yeah.
with
No.
And then at the end, like, you know, the coach is talking to us, you know, we won, and we usually don't win. And I'm like pulling up my pads and like putting my socks down, and the fucking the coach just goes, holy shit, Hugh, you need to go to a hospital. And then like my parents, I didn't even take the bus ride. My parents just took me right there, and it really wasn't that bad of an injury. It was just like a burster sac explosion.
Oh, but yeah, it looks nasty.
It looked really bad, but like the swelling didn't go down for like, you know, weeks, where I just couldn't play. You know, I had to
Right.
get it drained and all that shit. And then yeah, it's over time though, it's actually become my better knee, because I think I fucking started favoring the other one, you know.
When it happens, you need to rehab the shit out of it. And
Yeah.
I'm guilty of not. I like rehab my hip well, but not like the best that I could have. And now, because I just like went back on the mat, and I was like, well, it'll be what it'll be, and then it is what it is right now.
No, I feel
but yeah, I'm definitely fucking living. You gotta rehab.
That's the thing. That's the one thing I've always done, because I still have such big, like, you know, back then especially, I had no other pursuits in life. I had nothing. I'm like, I'm either a wrestler or I'm going to be on the streets. Right? That's how my mind was.
Right.
But now with this, you know, I have a really good PT. This guy, Jeff Yellen, American Edge, physical therapy. He's been working. He used to work for professional for like 20 years. And he's like a friend of mine, so he does not let me slack. He's fucking like
good.
Yeah.
Which I wouldn't, you know, it's like you tell yourself you wouldn't anyway, but having that accountability of like, hey, dude, you want to get back? You want to, you know, this is.
And
what you
also
gotta do.
being a personal trainer, I could see you being like, I could do this myself.
Yes, but I
Yeah.
still use the accountability.
Yeah.
The thing I will, but I'll strengthen. Like, I'm not going to stop training. Like, the working out's like my biggest stress relief in life. So they're like, as soon as they tell me I can go again, I'll go.
Right.
But he just pushes me to that extra level. Yeah, man.
It's yeah. I mean, like, I think with my thing, it was running that did it.
Yeah.
Just over time. But like once I lost the ability to run, like I didn't realize, because obviously like, oh, I gotta go for a run. This fucking sucks.
Yeah.
So in my head, I was always like, running sucks. But then once it was taken away from me, I was like, oh shit, this fucking really sucks.
Yeah.
And you kind of get like depressed.
Oh yeah.
Especially now, like, okay, the weather's getting nice. Go for a fucking 2-mile run. I wouldn't run much, but just to run in like a new weather change. Oh, it was great.
It's a dopamine release.
Yeah, it is. It's great.
It's real.
And I got a bike, so that's cool. But it's like there's just nothing.
It's not
It's
the
just
same.
not quite the same.
Like, I'm training now. I'm able to do some working out, but a lot of it's maintenance. And I'm not like, you know, I like to hit it, man. Like, I'll go on the assault bike, like, aggressively.
Yeah, I see
aggressive
your
run.
I see your workout vids. You're fucking ramping it up.
Man, I love it. But now it's like, you know, I don't feel that same, you know,
Yeah.
high, so to speak.
Right.
That
Just because I'm
sucks.
just getting a pump. But I mean, you know, it's all right. It's gonna be over.
It's
Well,
gonna
you
be
should
good.
you should just do cocaine before the workout.
That is a great idea.
Then you'll feel the high.
in like, I know back in the older days, wrestling was wild with drugs. Is it still?
No, it's changed a lot, man. Some guys still drink, and I'm not opposed to having a drink here. And
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
But and then no, they did now. You want to know why a lot of it changed? They used to like suspend you for weed. Bret Hart talks about this a lot. How like people would get like hooked on painkillers and sleeping, all kinds of shit because their schedule was insane, right?
Yeah,
and it's like you're wrestling until whatever time at night, then your adrenaline's here, then you're driving to the next town.
That.
So, and then you couldn't even smoke weed,
right?
Which would be a really easy, like much safer route for a lot of the symptoms people were feeling to come down after.
That's for sure safe.
But now, a lot happened between like the 90s and now with different people dying and shit like that. So now they have a really strict drug testing policy. I know the schedule's a little bit better, like at least WWE. Yeah. And so the party culture has changed a little bit.
Yeah.
It's a lot better now.
I understand what you mean with that adrenaline, because when you first start doing comedy, like your first like 3 or 4 years, it's this fucking adrenaline rush, and it still is. Yeah. But it's like when it's new, like when your first 3-4 years doing it, you're like, oh, I was like, I can't go home. I can't go home after this. I got to go out and drink and like just kind of wean off this. There's no way I could just lay in a bed.
I noticed that about comedy. Like when I first started, after shows, like pretty much everyone on the show would be out till like 2:00 in the morning drinking. Different stuff would be available, but like now it's like most of the comics are just like, I'm gonna go home. I need to be in bed by 10.
It does feel good to like go home after a show.
Yeah,
it does feel good.
There's just like a lot of the comics just aren't into that. Like maybe in the city it gets a little bit more wild at certain places, but like I know around here it's it gets pretty dull.
Right, I feel you. It's like more there's a time and a place for everything sometimes, but it's not every time.
Yeah.
Like I did a show on Friday here, and I was on Keegan's show. I hosted. Oh, cool. I got to get into this, by the way, because it was fucking madness at this show. Oh my god.
What happened?
So I'm hosting. I do all right up front. I've been rusty. I haven't been on stage in a while, but I do well enough to be like okay with myself. The show's going. It's like a Keegan and Friends night, so there's a lot of comics.
Yeah.
So finally, Sheba Mason went up, and the crowd was drunk, and there was this table in the corner, and it was like these 4 guys that kind of looked like biker guys almost, but were like definitely like fucking like welders or something, and like apparently this one guy, one big fat fucking guy, had to be 450. This guy was wasted, and apparently it was his retirement party. So he's just yelling out at Sheba, and they started getting like rowdy. Apparently he goes to the bathroom and just starts violently throwing up to the point where everybody in the audience, the comics, were getting like interrupted. So he goes back to his seat, and like, I'm like thinking this guy's about to go down. Like he's real stumbly. He went back to his seat. He like put his hands on this girl who's obviously on a date. And he's like talking to her and like in her ear.
No.
The boyfriend gets up and is like, "Man, what the fuck are you doing?" And then like, so the couple ended up leaving. The guy sits down. Within 2 minutes, he's back up and back in the bathroom, throwing up all over the fucking bathroom.
Imagine he threw up on her.
Oh my god, this guy was fucking bad. It was, he was just in the bathroom like,
he's like, it's like Arnold.
Throwing that fog, California.
Some people throwing up is hilarious. Like sometimes
this guy was just like an old fat guy. He was like had to be like late 50s, like close to 500 pounds.
Dude, there's nothing. It's funny that like I like if the guy's a disaster, like if the guy's like a biker dude, because I guess like a biker dude is like, oh, this guy's a tough guy, he's got things under control.
Yeah.
And then you see him throw up, and you're like, oh, I guess he doesn't. You know?
Like they kind of look like bikers. There was kind of like some leather involved. Like this dude, like the fat dude, had like a ponytail, and he was wearing like like sunglasses, kind of like, and I don't know, like I was like, what the fuck is going on? Like, you know, like no one was throwing this guy out. No one was like helping him. And so it was just like the last like 3 or 4 comics just had to deal with like violent noises coming from the bathroom.
What do you think like okay, when a guy's like creepy to a chick, like hey, yeah, I see you're on a date right now. Like, what makes you think that is gonna work? Like, no girl is into fucking old bikers.
Yeah,
No.
like that's just like not a. That's just not what they're looking for.
No, absolutely not. And like I said, like this guy was like late 50s, 500 pounds. You know, like he's talking to like a fucking 20-year-old girl. Like you're not like, what do you have to offer? You just retired from work.
Even if you had a lot of money,
yeah,
I'd still probably not.
No, like dude, this guy's gut like went past his dick. Like you would need like an apparatus to lift that gut just so he could fuck.
What like
his drunken mind must be like, they say a lot about not fat shaming. I can do it.
Imagine having to pick up a gut and like rest it on someone's lower back.
Like, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Dude, as a girl, like imagine having like that hairy fucking stomach just resting on your back, getting sweaty.
You just feel like thump.
Yeah, dude.
Feels great.
You'd be sitting here like, I wanted to before, but now I don't.
Yeah,
like, now I don't want to. I don't want to do it anymore. Damn.
Oh, that's something else. Holy
Jesus.
shit! What a visual.
What was the biggest guy you ever wrestled?
I wrestled Vader once.
You wrestled Vader?
Yeah, it was a 6-man
Holy
tag.
shit.
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of
Swear
here.
to God.
Yeah, dude, he was one of my favorites as a kid.
Big motherfucker.
He's a big fella.
Rest his soul.
Yeah.
I'm not saying anything no one has heard.
Yeah.
Wasn't he didn't really wash his gear, so wasn't the most pleasant smell wise.
Oh wow,
yeah. He was big. I think I gotta say he was the biggest. I don't think I've been in there with some big motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Right.
But he was like a solid 400 pounds.
Wow.
Yeah.
Like if you're in the turnbuckle and then he just runs and like body presses you.
Well,
just like
this
Jesus,
dude. So I'll give you a fun story. So when he hits you with those clubs,
Yeah.
he you're supposed to kind of pull your stuff.
Right.
He wasn't pulling it on me.
Wow.
And I was getting rocked in there, and I'm like,
Yeah.
holy shit.
Pulling meaning like
Pulling the punch, right? So so the thing is, there usually is connection.
Yeah.
It's just how hard and where. Like, you're not clocking people in the jaw or the nose. You're usually kind of aiming for where the meat is. If it's
Right.
meat and it's safe, it's okay. I was getting like clocked here.
Oh my god.
And like you're always told, like, hey, if someone starts doing that to you, you gotta kind of like hit them back to let them know, like they can't take advantage.
yeah,
of you.
dude,
Kinda
I
like
would
a
do
test.
that. Like,
is that called a receipt?
Kind of. It's basically a receipt. But a receipt's usually like let's say you don't realize what you're doing. I do it and say stop. But there's people who do it to test you, especially old school. And that's kind of what I felt like was happening.
Yeah.
And I was in the corner. I remember I had like two thoughts. I'm like, I'm gonna hit this motherfucker as hard as I can. I'm like, two things will happen. He's gonna come after me, and I don't know, or he's just not gonna. He's gonna stop. So he
Yeah.
comes over to me. I got up. I hit him with the hardest forearm I could, right to his jaw. He rocks back, puts me in a headlock, and then brings me to my own corner to tag out, which means he's like, okay, I'm not fucking with this kid anymore.
right.
And that was it. Then from there was no more shots that were too snug.
Yeah.
Damn.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
That's crazy. So
story.
so after that, you're in the locker room.
No, nothing said.
Nothing.
No, it's not really like that. No.
Wow.
No, it's not like that. A lot of times you just kind of give them back. There's a really cool one you guys could pull up one day. Braun Strowman and Lesnar were in a match with Kane. It was a triple threat.
Yeah.
And I think it's on Twitter a lot. And Strowman's in there, and he's just moving fast. And you can tell he's just excited. And he hits Lesnar with a knee.
Oh, I've seen this.
Yeah, and Lesnar gets up and hits him with a fucking 1-2. And on camera, you hear him say, slow the fuck down. And everything was fine after.
Wow.
Right. It's just, it's adrenaline.
Yeah,
You're going. There's a crowd,
Because like wrestling is like a fight, but there's also like an entertainment factor to it. So I think
Yeah.
those two things mixed together.
It's a weird dichotomy. I know it sounds weird. It's like almost like figure skating, right? It's like you're not working against each other. You're working together to give a convincing performance. And it's like a good movie or anything else. Like if you're doing things right and there is that solid, like for a second, like, holy shit, wait a minute. Are they, and if you have that one question for 1 second, we got you. right? And then you'll be fully invested in the match. Just like a fucking movie where you kind of forget you're watching a movie, like, holy shit, this is just awesome. So, yeah, it gets like that sometimes. You just kind of get caught up in the moment. You guys are going. You feel the crowd.
I could see that.
Yeah, and the other thing I'll say is, in the safe, when you work with your friends, you always usually work a little more snug because you know you're not out to get each other.
Yeah.
So when it's always safe areas, but when you're going, you're usually going.
There's dude, wrestling is so sick though, dude.
It's just such a weird, complex art form.
Yeah.
It's such a weird thing that like, because I don't watch it anymore. But if you threw it on, I would sit down and be fully invested.
Right.
It's just something, you know. It's just, it's weird because it taps into something in the male brain.
Yep.
Not the female brain. It's
Yeah,
I don't know what
for
it
the
is.
most part, yeah, it's definitely a male-dominated industry.
It's just like something that like men like getting together. Like I like watching this.
Especially like our age group. You go back to like the '90s stuff. It's like, it just kind of hits your childhood. It's like that nostalgic hit. And if you see something like The Rock's back right now,
Right.
and I have so many people that like don't follow wrestling regularly anymore. They're like, oh shit, I put on SmackDown. That was fucking cool.
Yeah.
The Rock's back, and it's cool how it kind of comes full circle like that. You know what I mean?
It is crazy. I'm sure there are some chicks that definitely do like watching wrestling.
Oh yeah, and there's girls in wrestling. They're badass now.
Yeah,
Oh,
for sure.
I've been thinking about getting back into it. You know, like
Same,
I
honestly.
stopped watching. You know, like right after like the Attitude Era.
Yeah.
Era. You know,
Normal.
because like I was, was growing up, and
Totally normal,
I
dude.
think a big thing for me was when the UFC started getting big.
Yeah.
You know, I kind of
And I love
jumped
UFC
ship.
too.
Yeah, I kind of jumped ship and got like really into the UFC and MMA and now it's like my girlfriend's got a kid who's 10 years old.
Yeah.
Who like all he wants to talk about is wrestling.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
You know, so it's like I was thinking about like watching, like try to keep up and be like, hey, you see the match? You know.
But they're all WWE and UFC are now one company. You know
Yeah,
that,
they
right?
are.
Yeah.
They are, dude.
Yeah. TKO Group, yeah, they're merged, which is insane to think.
Right.
Like back then, imagine saying that UFC and WWE would be under one umbrella.
I would
Yeah.
never believe
Michael
that.
Chandler just was on Raw cutting a promo on Conor McGregor, calling him out for a UFC fight. It's
yeah.
crazy. It is fucking crazy.
Some people like hated it, but then when you say something like that, like, oh, Michael Chandler's cutting a promo through like the WWE way to fight Conor McGregor, like that's gonna be something wild to
It's
see.
gonna be cool. And then just like from a business standpoint, like now they could go to a venue and do like a Saturday and Sunday, and they don't have to worry about like you're gonna have a UFC event on Friday, Sunday, and it's the same production team. So they're saving costs on top of that.
Yeah.
When you really think about like the logic of the business side of it, it makes a lot of sense.
It would be cool to see boxing also get involved.
100%.
You know, just like have like all the combat sports really.
Yeah.
And because like, oh, did you guys see fucking Tyson is gonna fight fucking Jake Paul?
Yeah, I did.
Oh my god!
People are seeing
Do
all the.
you think Tyson is gonna take the dive like everybody else has?
I hope he doesn't.
Because I really don't think Jake Paul's like winning these fights off of skill.
I hope he doesn't take it.
I mean, Tyson, he has so many other business ventures. I don't think he needs the money.
Well, this is
Yeah.
gonna be a huge
I mean, it's a big
payday.
paycheck, yeah.
This is a huge payday. Like,
How much do you think he's getting paid? Like 50 mil?
dude, like all the UFC fighters that have done this, like, are saying like one boxing match against Jake Paul was like better than my entire UFC career.
100%. Yeah.
You know.
You can't hate him. You can't hate
No,
him.
they're very smart business people. And
Can't
so
hate
is his
them.
brothers.
Oh, I hate them. I think they're fucking tool bags, but like they do know how to fucking promote, and they have
they
their
do.
audience. You know, they've been working, cultivating an audience, you know, for years. But I think they're just like fucking losers.
I hate Logan. I don't hate Jake. But you know what, dude? Logan as a wrestler,
He's actually really good.
he's
Yeah.
an entertaining fucking wrestler.
fucking
See, I hated Logan on YouTube. Like that.
Yeah.
That's what like kind of.
I hated him on Vine.
Like, yeah, seeing like him on that shit was just like, nah, I don't like that guy. Like he seems like a fucking tool.
Right.
You know, like the whole Suicide Forest thing.
That was fucked up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude,
Oh,
I remember that.
that like bothered me.
Yeah.
And you know, like Jake, I feel like kind of just rode on the coattails.
Right.
But now he kind of like Jake kind of like found his home, which is boxing.
Right.
But like I feel like he's also like he's doing like these like catch weight fights or whatever, and it's like 7 rounds against a UFC fighter. Like, I want to see him box someone for real.
Yeah, I know. I'm with you.
You know?
Well, he lost to Fury.
To Fury, right?
That was a real. And you could see Fury was like, no, I'm actually gonna box you,
Yeah.
and you're not gonna win.
But I mean, now he's fighting Tyson. Anytime you put Tyson, I mean, and you see his training videos,
dude.
Did you watch him and Roy Jones?
Yeah.
I mean,
he wasn't sweating. He wasn't breaking a sweat. I was like, and Roy Jones was like,
you saw him. He was like frightened.
A great fight, and then Tyson was like, yeah, man, good job.
Oh yeah, that was amazing.
You know what? I think because I think Tyson. The reason why I'm afraid that Tyson's not going to fight to his full potential because I don't think he fought to his full potential with Roy Jones. Because he would like, whoop, whoop, and then
he definitely held back.
Yeah, and then like, because you know Tyson when he does that, he just like comes over with like a fucking devastating punch, and he like, and he wasn't doing it.
He also has a lot of respect, I'm sure, for Roy Jones Jr. from their
So that's
pedigrees.
Like, you think he has respect for?
I would. If you were Mike Tyson, would you have respect for Jake Paul?
Probably not.
I'll tell you this. I will say this. They got me interested. I'll be watching on Netflix on January.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely gonna
me.
watch.
They got me, so.
Especially because it's on Netflix and it's like free now.
Yeah, which is amazing.
Yeah.
That's fucking incredible.
People are, and I understand. Like, oh, Jake Paul's fighting Tyson, and Netflix is this. And like, listen, I understand there are these changes in the world, but like, Trump was president, right? It's all men. Yeah. Right? It's all fucking stupid.
Yeah, it's all fucked up now.
Everything is ridiculous.
Everyone can do whatever they want.
Just ride the wave of ridiculousness and into this fucking sunset. Okay?
Yeah, dude, I'm all for it.
It's all ridiculousness. So just be ridiculous then.
Yeah.
Just there's no rules anymore.
Hey, there really isn't.
There isn't.
I mean, like I just called a high school gym teacher a faggot like fucking an hour ago, and like no one said anything to me. You know, like
wait, what happened?
Like this was I'm just leaving my house and I live across the street from middle school, and this guy was trying to like stop traffic to let the buses go, and like of course he lets the guy in front of me go, but not me. So he like is just, and I'm like, come on, man. I honk at him like there's more than enough space for me to go. And he's like, you're going to hold everything up at the stop sign. I'm like, what the fuck does that mean? You know, like it's a stop sign. I stop for a second and then I go, So finally, like, all the buses went. It was like, I was the last one here. And I just looked at him straight in the face, gave him the finger, and I was like, you're a faggot. And he goes, yeah, thank you for that. I'm just like, what?
This guy. What?
So you can do whatever you want, is what I'm saying. Like, like Trump 2024, like, just fucking do it.
I feel like every one of these episodes are just career-ending episodes. It's fucking Jesus Christ. But who do you think would have won the fight, you or him?
Oh, I would have taken him down. And if I didn't, I had like a police like baton like under my seat.
Do you carry a baton in your seat?
Yeah,
yeah. Your fucking thing?
Yeah, just in case like I get mouthy with like multiple people.
I got when I was in school, I was in college, I called someone's bluff and they all hopped out of the car and beat the shit out of me. They all kicked my ass. I was like, I forgot what happened, but I screamed at him. And then, like, I got out, and I was, like, looking at him. He's like, get back in your fucking car.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, fuck you. And blah, 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 blah. It was a car full of dudes. And that was when I was just like, upstate people are pussies. I was like, you're from this trash-ass place. I'm from Long Island. I'm 21. Blah, blah, blah.
Dude, isn't it so funny? Because, like, in a moment like that, they all of a sudden get pride
they
about where they're from. They're like, no, upstate people are fucking cool.
I probably said something like that.
Yeah.
And all 4 of them hopped out. And I was like, yeah? Just fucking wrecked me. I was like in the Gold's Gym parking lot. I just worked out. I was like, yeah. I'm feeling tough right now, and I just got beat up. Dude.
Yeah, so we talk about like old fights all the time. Like, were you a tough guy in like high school?
Man, I tried to not get in street fights in high school. The only good story I have is I was walking through. I was at this Roosevelt Field Mall, and I was at Spencer's, and this is like the height of my like amateur wrestling and jiu-jitsu and all that stuff, and. I was with my buddies, and I saw like this pretty dope Kurt Angle shirt, and Kurt Angle's like my dude.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, that's awesome. It's a Kurt Angle shirt. And apparently, someone behind me said something. I don't know what he said, but my boy like just wanted. I guess he's like, yo, a guy just said something about you. I'm like, really? And it was like this like big like fat out of shape dude, and I'm like, If you just said something, you can come say it to my face. So he comes out with his friend, and I'm like, "You said something?" He's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "You want to do something?" And he went to push me.
No, I'm fat.
And we're on the second floor.
Yeah.
Where Spencer's was. So I shoot in, I give him a double, and just to scare him, I walked him towards like the edge, like I was gonna throw him over.
Oh, that's fucking awesome.
Dude, he's like, oh! And I took him down, and then like I'm on top of him, and he's like, I don't know what he's trying to do. He's like trying to grab my head. I'm like, stop! Smack him like this, turn the back, put him in a rear naked choke, and I'm like, I just feel him like, that was a noise. I'm like, dude, just tap and I'll stop.
Getting that fat guy wheeze.
Yes, he was wheezing for sure. And then some guy's like, "Hey man, security's coming." And then
they're all fat too.
So I'm like, "Oh shit!" I'm like, "Guys, get the fuck out of here!" So
Yeah.
we start like jetting out, and I see them running towards me, and they run right past us to like another group of dudes walking by.
Oh, that's
And,
great.
yeah, I got out of it. So that's my good story. Yeah.
I think I remember because when I first met you, you worked at the beer distributor. I think
Was it? No, you met me through Dan Hickey.
I did. I
wasn't.
did.
Was I working there? No, I wasn't working there.
I
don't
think you would. Was it you that would help us like get kegs from the? That's how I met you through Dan Hickey.
I might have been there and helped, but I didn't work there specifically.
Okay. So I remember that's like when I first met you. Maybe you helped,
Probably.
and then because Hickey would throw the parties in the woods.
Yes. Yeah.
And then I took over for him when he got out of high school.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
he was like, "Oh," I was like, "How the fuck are you gonna get kegs? We're like 16." And he's like, "I have a hookup."
You wait. Hold on. I know exactly what it is. His hookup was my boys at the place they worked at the beer distributor.
Was he like a tall, lanky dude?
Yeah.
kinda?
Yes.
Kind of like a drifter looking?
Yeah,
Yeah. I remember him.
Yeah. So that's how that all connected. Yeah.
Okay.
But Dan Hickey's the reason I got introduced to pro wrestling. I always give him credit for that.
So remember that?
Training?
I don't know if you were there that one night, but yeah, because he went over. What was his name in wrestling when he tried? Tommy O'Daniels. Tommy O'Daniels. That was his name.
Tommy O'Daniels.
Yeah, he used to be like he came out to Dropkick Murphy the whole.
Oh yeah.
So
fun.
I mean, he could have stuck with Dan Hickey. That's just
It
as
could've.
Irish, you know.
So our mutual friend, he gets him into wrestling,
Right.
and at that point, I think it was just like backyard wrestling at that point.
Yeah, so there's a real fun story. I got hurt amateur wrestling, and I was like out for the rest of the season. I would have been at a meet, and then I went to my friend's house party instead. And it's in East Meadow. And Dan Hickey's randomly there. He's like, "Hey, dude," he's like, "I heard you like wrestling." I'm like, "Yeah, man, I'm gonna do it after." He's like, "Well, I go to this place, and like some of the guys used to wrestle on the indies. Now they just do it for fun and run shows for their friends."
Yeah.
And I'm like, "That sounds pretty cool." They had a ring. I'm like,
Yeah.
"You have a fucking
They
ring?"
did. They had a ring.
Yeah, so then I went there, I met them, and like that was it. And then those guys, so I did the backyard stuff with them, but then those guys got me involved in an actual wrestling school. Like they directed me where to go.
Right.
So like that whole pipeline is all because of Dan. If he didn't introduce me to them, I wouldn't have got it started so early.
Really?
Yeah.
Shit. That's crazy.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, that's funny. That's kind of like how I my stand up career happened. Was like, you know, I came here because I told you I live like 2 blocks away, and like so I came here for like the open mic, but like no one, then I met a guy here who like directed me to all the other open mics, like to get good to eventually come back here and be on like booked shows,
Right.
It was like I needed someone to like put me on that path, know, because I had no idea what I was doing when I started off.
It's funny. So our mutual friend had a wrestling match, a backyard wrestling match.
Right.
So we all go. He jumps off the top turnbuckle and shatters his ankle.
Oh, yeah.
So needs to be rushed to the emergency room. So we go to the emergency room. Dude, the emergency room waiting room
Is the worst.
to the hospital is a fucking circus, dude.
Yeah.
We get there. There's a woman, like she's about to give birth. And like no one's helping her. She's like,
Yeah.
I don't think she was giving birth, but she was like, help, and like no one's
Yeah.
helping her. This guy comes over on a wheelchair, like popping wheelies. He's like, hey, you guys score drugs? And we're like, well, our friend just broke his ankle, and he's like, I come here, I score pills all the time. they think I'm hurt, but I'm not. I just roll around in this wheelchair.
Yeah, they call me Jimmy Wheels. I'm the hustler around here.
So he's going all around. We're like, what the fuck is going on with this? Dude, there's a homeless guy sleeping on a newspaper, and we're just sitting there. He's there the whole night. Dude, we're waiting for our friend to come out of the emergency room.
Yeah.
This homeless guy stands up and just like starts a fight with some random guy like sitting there. I was like, is this real? We're all sober
Yeah,
too.
dude, it's always crazy. Like I was there once, and this fucking guy was just like casually bleeding from his head.
Yeah, dude.
You know, like, and they're just not helping anyone.
Dude,
there's always one person screaming, like, help, I'm, like, in pain, I'm dying.
There was a stabbing.
Yeah.
A stabbing. And the guy walked in, he's like, ah! He was like blood all over. Dude, I was like 18.
Yeah, and they're, like, making him fill out the forms.
Yeah.
Dude, it's ridiculous.
We were
Sign
all,
it in your blood.
We were
Yeah.
all like 18, 19, 20 tops, and like, again, sober. And then I remember we were there all night, finally got Dan out of there.
Yeah.
We rolled him out. He had a cast on at like 3 a.m. And we were like that was when we were like getting fucked up all the time. We were like, we get fucked up and do drugs all the time. That was like one of the craziest nights.
Right.
And we didn't do any drugs.
Yeah.
We didn't even drink one beer. Like, this place is just a lunatic. Imagine working there.
Dude, it's
sounds
insane.
really-
That'd
crazy.
be insanity, dude. Shit.
So, now, you wrestled Vader. Any other big names?
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Well, I mean, I'll give you guys that like would be known else. Like Abyss, I was in a match with Abyss.
Okay.
I've worked with Tommy Dreamer a couple of
Oh,
times.
Oh,
shit.
dude, he's awesome.
Yeah, so I had a really cool experience. It was so I did a company called Big Time Wrestling, and I was this is fun. So I was match 1. Sting just retired, right? So this is a real story.
Sting's my all-time favorite, by the way.
And you're gonna love this
Yeah.
story. So I knew he was at the event for like an autograph signing. He was done wrestling at this point, like on the independents. He wasn't doing anything. So I match 1. I'm backstage, and I'm like at Gorilla, which is like right before you walk out, and I'm standing there getting myself pumped, and I feel a tap on my shoulder, and I turn around, and I shit you not, Sting is standing there, full makeup, everything.
yeah, that's
He's like,
fucking
hey,
cool.
he's like, I just want to say good luck out there, kid, and I'm like,
I would freeze.
thanks, Sting. And then,
Yeah.
but that surge of like electricity, like that was what, there's these moments in life, right? And you guys probably feel as comedians where it's
Yeah.
like, holy shit, I'm actually doing this. That was one of those moments that I'm like, holy shit, I'm really a fucking wrestler. Sting just said good luck and is on the same show as me. I went out and had a triple threat match. It went really well. There was somebody in the main event that couldn't make it. And Tommy Dreamer watched that match. And he's like, hey, dude, he's like, can you stick around for the whole show? I'm like, yeah. So the main event, then it was me, and I'm sorry to all my I don't remember who I was tagging with, but I was against Tommy Dreamer, Sabu,
What?
Raven, and Sandman.
What in the fuck,
Jesus
dude?
Christ.
It was insane.
Dude, those are like 4 legends.
Yep, ECW legend. It was like an ECW legend match. I was like, wow.
I was a
surreal.
I was a huge WCW guy, so like that, dude.
It was
Raven?
Raven?
Yeah.
Yep, he was like, he didn't do much, but he was there. And Dreamer was like, there's going to be a lot of shit going on. He's like, just kind of stick with me. I'm like, all right, dude.
Dreamer is like the king of ECW.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like for sure on the Mount Rushmore.
Yeah, Dreamer and Sandman were like my 2 favorite, right? Sandman had the
beer, the
beer and
kendo
the
stick.
stick. Yeah.
Did he get hit with a kendo stick?
I didn't.
Oh.
Yeah, Dreamer was like protecting me. He's like,
Yeah.
they're crazy. He's like, just stay with me.
That's fucking cool, dude.
It was really cool. Yeah, but I mean, there's more. Who else have I mean? God, I've had such a long career. Gotta like my brain kind of.
Yeah, you've been-
Like,
Yeah,
I'll like
yeah.
leave and I'll be like, oh, for fuck, I should have told him this. But yeah, them. I told you Abyss.
Wow, Tommy.
I mean,
was
that's like the
fucking
best story though. I mean, you can't really. Get
Yeah, no, that's a great story.
What's-
Like any other like crazy fucking moments. that,
Yeah.
like, like
so I did a show at City Field.
like oh god, that's cool.
shit.
Yeah, and it was so after Shea. I mean, Shea Stadium had plenty of like unbelievable moments in pro wrestling, but
Yeah.
this was the first ever event run at City Field, and I was the first match.
Was
Technically, I'm the first match.
was
at City
Dan
Field.
Barry there?
Dan Barry, I've worked with many times.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
fucking-
Dan Barry's like a friend.
Yeah.
He's a
He's a good friend of
comedian.
mine.
Yeah.
I started with Dan Barry. I've known him a long time.
Love Dan.
But I think I remember him being on that show.
Yeah, it's probably
Yeah.
the same one. I mean, it's only like been one event that
Right,
happened. Yeah,
yeah.
Dan was probably there because it was through FTW. So yeah, and yeah, I saw Dan Barry this weekend. We just had the
Yeah.
same show. I went to
Yeah.
go visit everybody. He was there. But yeah, that's the one. So yeah, you probably, if you were there,
No, I
you
never
saw it?
went. I've been meaning to like go to one,
Yeah.
but
I literally last month told him I want to go
Yeah.
to a show. I want to go to a show. Where's a show that I could see like a hardcore match?
great question. I mean, there's companies are dedicated to death matches.
Those are wild, dude.
Yeah, it's not my cup of tea. But,
Yeah.
it's that's like the there's like ICW does that. And then there's GCW, which is very well known now in the Indies. It does a lot of that kind of style.
All out of New York?
They're all over the place.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm actually running a show St. Patrick's Day in Greenport.
Oh, awesome, dude!
Yeah.
Plug it.
Yeah. So it's I got my promoter's license recently.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Won't be any hardcore matches, but there'll be plenty of beer.
Okay.
And food.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's gonna be at the American Legion. It's the first time that there's wrestling there since the '80s. There's Lucharitos, is a restaurant chain around here. I'm partnered with the owner of that and one of my buddies.
Okay.
It's at 5:30, doors open, $25 a ticket. It's gonna be awesome, something fun and different to do on St. Patrick's Day. And there's like an event right down the block at Greenpoint Brewery earlier. So it's like,
That's awesome.
You down for that?
I'm booked.
Oh,
I got to
okay.
do
Get it, brother.
Perillo show.
I am
at
not-
fucking Nostalgia.
I am not
Pretty cool.
booked. But
Yeah.
on St. Pat. Oh, yeah.
oh,
you
nostalgia,
are.
Tom Angenbush.
Yeah.
Good buddy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a friend of mine too.
Yeah.
You know, he used to own Revolution.
He did. He
And,
did.
Yeah, so we did a lot of comedy at Revolution. That's actually
Well,
this,
tried.
yeah,
to do-
yeah.
Tried to do
some of
comedy.
the shows over there were good. It depended on like what kind of audience, but that was my second show I ever did. Was before Revolution. It used to be called Ollie's Point, and like someone told me, like my friend from college when on the lacrosse team, he told me his girlfriend bartended there, and they were doing fucking comedy open mics, and I just went down to see what it was about, and that's kind of how I got hooked up on like the scene, really.
That's
you
awesome.
know,
Yeah.
so like I always like loved that place, and it was Ollie's Point and Revolution, and it was fucking cool. But yeah, now he's got nostalgia.
Yeah, such a small world. Yeah.
Did you have you ever done a death match?
No. I've done ladder matches. I've done cage matches.
What's-
I've done tables matches.
What's like the most
Now,
physically?
what is a death match?
Yeah, what is a death? How do you win a death match?
Yeah.
It's still just pin or submission, but it's like they use paints of glass.
Oh yeah.
Like fucking, they use skewers. I've taken skewers before.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just like brutal shit. Like your body is really getting like fucking destroyed.
Gets
Barbed
bloody,
wire,
yeah.
real bloody.
Dude, barbed wire sucks.
Yeah, it's fucked
Yeah.
up. It's
That's
fire. There's fire.
Oh my God.
Cinder blocks. It's just like
Yeah.
it's like imagine an attitude hardcore match like times 10.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Dude, like the one that
a lot of
always
credit to them who do it, man.
The one that always freaked me out, I don't know why, it was just thumbtacks.
Yeah, those aren't fun either.
getting like thrown onto thumbtacks like would fucking drive me nuts.
I've taken them. It depends which ones. Like they're actually not as bad. Like some things aren't as bad as you think. Like a chair like to the back is it doesn't feel good, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Ladders suck.
Yeah.
Because they're sharp and like the edges and just awkward.
Right.
I always get the most hurt with ladders. I fucking hate ladders.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could see that.
Yeah, they
there's
suck.
not as much like give on a ladder.
Yeah, it's just awkward. Like you get
Also-
caught with like a corner and you're just
Yeah.
like, fuck, dude.
Also, you falling off a ladder. It's just you're falling
Yeah.
off a ladder.
Yeah.
Your
Gravity
body can
sucks.
only take so much, man. There's that they call it a bump card. There's like almost so much body you're taking. Eventually, your body, no matter how much you protect yourself or fall correctly, when you're falling correctly, you're just giving as much surface area as you can to absorb the impact. So it's like you're not going to break your arm by putting your arm down like this. But over time, your body's, it's like, they say it's mini car crashes. That's what falling is like in wrestling. So you do that fucking hundreds of times a year over and over and over again. Your body's going to be like, hey, fuck you, dude.
Yeah,
Right,
You know?
right.
enough.
Enough.
What about are tables rough?
No, they're not that bad. They actually kind of absorb the impact, but they look really cool.
Yeah,
No,
they look-
tables look cool, man. Yeah.
Like when someone
Getting
falls.
thrown through one.
When someone falls, when they like stack them up,
Oh,
and,
yeah,
and
it's
it's just like
Yeah.
it's just like a huge disaster.
Yeah.
Like the Dudleys.
Oh, yeah.
I think Sting came back and literally like jumped off something.
He's been doing so. His last match was technically like a death match.
Oh yeah.
But like he didn't. I mean, actually, no, he did go through a pane of glass. He's a sick fuck.
Yeah.
He's a fucking
Yeah, he's like I'm retiring. So the last 4 years, he's like jumping off like
Dude,
ledges
when
and-
Sting like turned it, I liked him when he was like the fucking California like
Surfer
kid.
Sting?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
love Surfer Sting. But when he like started doing the crow shit,
Yeah.
like with the baseball bat, that was like I fucking love that.
See, I don't remember Surfer Sting.
Yeah.
I remember, but I just only remember the Crow.
Yeah, dude, he had like a fucking blonde, like
And a-
flat top,
Yep.
you
He
know,
had, like,
with
the
like
laser thing.
yeah, dude,
Yeah.
he was always in like bright pink or fucking electric blue.
He's I love when he went NWO when he had the red mask.
Oh, when he did the Wolfpack.
Yeah, Wolfpack. Yeah.
Well, when he was doing the Crow shit and the NWO came out, he was like the one guy fighting against like the NWO, and it's just like everyone kept going NWO, like all these fucking powerhouses, and he just would like fight the whole fucking NWO with
and he
his
would
baseball
fucking
bat.
come in
from
through
the
the
fucking-
ceiling.
Yeah, come from the ceiling, dude.
He just
that
did
was
it
so
one more
cool.
time. That was like his last TV. So AEW is on TNT, just like WCW was, and like so after Owen Hart passed away, that's been kind of like
dangerous.
You probably don't do that.
But Tony Khan asked his widow if it was okay if they did it for Sting one last time, and she approved it. So like his last appearance on TNT before that pay-per-view, he came down from the rafters one more time. It was really, really cool.
That's awesome.
Really cool.
I like that they asked the widow. You know, that's kind of a stand-up move.
That's
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
Respectful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He has a good relationship with them. So it was really cool to see, man.
It's got to be so hard to think of like a cool new gimmick that hasn't been thought of before.
Dude,
you know?
tough.
That's
Think
tough.
about it.
Think of
like
everything
for podcasts, like
Yeah.
everything, man. Like it's always been done. You
Right.
know?
It's just a new spin on something old.
Yeah, it's dude, it's I think like the last like the Wyatts, that was a really
That was
cool one.
cool.
That was like I was like, oh wow, a Bayou I don't know, demons.
Which was also like, so there was a guy, Waylon Mercy, who was around for a hot second back in like the 80s or early 90s, and it fizzled out because the guy who behind the character was just kind of like on his way out. But that was kind of an inspiration from him. But Bray just took it like and made it his own.
Yeah, that's like the whole fucking stadium gets into it.
Oh yeah,
Like that's a whole thing.
that was so cool. Yeah, God
crazy.
rest his soul.
That's crazy. He died like something weird, right?
Yeah, I think they wound up having heart problems.
Oh shit.
And that's why everyone, no one really knew why he got pulled off of WrestleMania that year, and then unfortunately he he passed, man. He's a young man, but what a career he gave everybody, right?
How old is he?
Like 30s, man.
Oh,
That
fuck.
sucks, dude.
Yeah, that scares me.
It does scare you because it's like, oh, I'm that.
Yeah,
Yeah, tragic.
Dude, shit, man. Hey,
yeah. We're getting
Wrap it?
about there.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, man. We're getting about that time, right, Tone?
Yeah, we got about 5 minutes left.
5 minutes,
cool.
perfect time to do some plugs.
yeah, want to do some plugs? Whatever you want to plug, man.
So yeah,
we
we
go.
were talking about your St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah, we
you
got
know, if
that.
you want to get into a little more detail or anything else you want to plug.
Yeah, so that show
Have
again.
at it.
So that you're going to see Championship Entertainment Productions is the parent company that's going to be running these shows. It's my company. This is our first venture into Greenport. It's brand new. A lot of exciting talent. We just signed Richard Holiday, who is he's one of the top independent guys right now. He's performed for MLW for many years, cancer survivor, great person. So he's on the show. A lot of great talent from the tri-state area. It's a family-friendly event, but again, parents can have a great time drinking and watching their kids have a great time. Starts at 5:30. It's going to be awesome. There'll be a lot more of that. If anyone wants to work out and get in shape, I'm right here in East Meadow. It's Joe's Result Zone.
Yeah.
I do small group personal training and one-on-one. So the small group is great. You still get a lot of personal attention. I'll modify for you and I'll make the workout for you at an affordable price because you're with a couple of other people. But if you want 100% of me, you can get me one-on-one too. Those are my two big plugs, man.
Awesome.
Dude, I want to come to this fucking show, man.
I come.
Dude, I'm coming.
It's going to be awesome.
I'm not doing
Do it. Report back.
Yeah.
I will report
Yeah.
back.
It'll
know?
be fun, dude. I'll get you a beer.
Because I was booked for something on the 18th, which is like, okay, I'm not gonna go out and if I have something to do the next day.
Right.
But yeah, I'm completely free the next day.
Dude, I mean, let's do it. You'll have a great time. I'll help Dan. Maybe Dan can come.
Some beers and wrestling.
Beers
dude.
and wrestling. Can't get any better than that.
Joe, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
and
No,
doing
man, it's
this.
really cool. Thank you guys for having me on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm filming these movies, which
got anything?
yeah,
Dude.
Tony saw me acting in these films.
I did. You did a nice job.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Yes, I'm just busy filming these. Just follow me, Trav_Grant on Instagram. I'll let you know.
Yeah.
Right on. I'm St. Patrick's Day. If you're not going to the wrestling show, fucking I'll be with Steve Perillo and Mike Keegan, Carla Okerson, fucking some good comics at Nostalgia and Beth Page. Small venue, so fucking come quick. And then April 19th, I'll be back at Governor's with Terry McNeely in the Giggle Room. So come down. I'm trying to fucking get more stage time these days. And at The Logic, that's me on Instagram. Follow at Treading Water Podcast, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube.
Yeah,
I think that's it.
We're gonna put up some more clips for you guys.
Yeah.
They're working them to death, but we will get clips for you.
Yeah, we'll get some new clips. I still got some. I gotta fucking keep up with that. But yeah, man. And just fucking follow the YouTube, subscribe so we can start making some money. Subscribe, share, like.
Yeah, because my girlfriend's brother saw this some of the clips.
Yeah,
he's just like, I don't want that guy going out with my sister.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm like, fuck, it's not good, dude.
Yeah, a guy at work saw some clips. I was like, yo, go on it. And he's like, goes on Instagram, and like the first one he looks at, he's just like, oh.
There was. Dude, there was one, and like I can't take it down because I think there was ads attached to it.
Oh, I don't know which one.
The one where I'm talking about where like I hooked up with a girl in a car or something like that.
Okay.
And it was not even a terrible story, but like it was
yeah. I'll try to take it down.
I don't even, well, no, it's on my Instagram. So I'm trying to take it down, and it's like, no, there's ads attached. I'm like, you can't. I'm like, what the fuck does that even mean? Let me take it down.
Yeah, if there's ads on it, you should be making money.
Yeah, my relationship is in shambles now because of this
you should
video.
check out the fucking monetization on that.
But imagine if you subscribed and we were millionaires. Then I probably would. Maybe it'd still be a problem, but $1 million would make it feel.
It would feel a lot better.
It would feel better.
Yeah.
Yeah, guys.
But that's the show, man. Thank you for coming down.
Thank you, guys.
Joe Ocasio. Oh, where can they find you, by the way?
Oh, I should have probably mentioned.
Yeah.
Joe _Ocasio on Instagram and on Twitter. And also Joe's Result Zone on TikTok. I got some fun stuff on there.
Nice.
Yeah,
folks. That's it.
That's it. Thank you.
Peace out. Love you. I'm in love with you.